A very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on Channel 1 MTV. We start off with a look at the headlines. A mother and daughter who were injured in a fire that occurred in Balangura have died. 112 Sri Lankan migrant workers in Kuwait returned to the island. Both French and German leaders call for better economic governance. Now for those stories in detail, a woman and a child who were injured in a fire that occurred in their house in the Moragaha area in Balangura yesterday have died. Police stated that the deceased were a 47-year-old mother and an 11-year-old daughter. The police suspect that an unidentified individual had spread some highly inflammable substance and set fire to the house, while 3 individuals were asleep inside. Police further stated that a magisterial inquiry and a post-mortem inquiry would be conducted into the incident. Well, 2 bodies have been found in 2 separate locations. One body was found floating on the Galgamua Siembalangamua lake, while the other body was discovered near the Ragam Peralanda lake. Police stated that a search operation was launched following a phone tip-off around the Siembalangamua lake, where the woman's body was found. Meanwhile, the police discovered another body near the Ragama Peralanda lake. The police stated that the dead person has not yet been identified. Well, 112 Sri Lankan migrant workers in Kuwait who had been subjected to various forms of harassments returned to the island this morning. The Foreign Employment Bureau stated that they arrived at 4:30 a.m. today. The group comprised of a large number of women. The Foreign Employment Bureau further stated that steps had been taken to provide transport to their respective residents. Deputy Minister of Livestock Development H.R. Mitrapala says that the milk food industry in the island is declining. He expressed this view at a meeting that was held to look into the problems faced by veterinary officers and milk farmers in the Puttalam district.
If we consider the milk industry in 1977, we manufactured 85% of the liquid milk needed for the country. But at present, 85% of the milk requirement is being imported. This is the transformation that has taken place, and the local milk industry is on the decline. Before we use modern science and technology for anything, we ought to use them to increase our food production.
Convener of the Voice Against Corruption movement, parliamentarian Sunil Handunnetti says that the world is full of corruption. He expressed his view at a lecture held in Colombo yesterday.
The website of Voice Against Corruption was launched yesterday. Former Chief Justice Sarathen Silva was also present at the occasion. The fact that we are well aware of is that rulers as well as citizens don't like corruption. Journalists as well as media organizations are also against corruption, but today state money is being wasted. Corruption is endemic and bribery is rampant. Even though many are against all this, the result in fighting this is zero.
ජනාධිපතිට සමාදීමේ බලය තරම් දූෂිත ක්‍රියාත්මක කරලා තියෙන බලයක් මේ රටේ නැහැ කියලා මම මෙතන නිර්භයව සඳහන් කරනවා.
It is true that because of this, murderers, rapists and other criminals are enjoying freedom. Only the small sprats are caught and produced before the law. Complaints can be lodged only against these small sprats. People are frightened to complain against the high and mighty.
හාල් මැස්ස පමණයි කියලා. මොකද හාල් මැස්සන්ට විරුද්ධව නම් පැමිණිල්ලක් කරන්න පුළුවන් බය නැතුව. ඉහළ අයට විරුද්ධව කවුරුත් පැමිණිලි කරන්න යන්න බෑ.
The Wildlife Department says that people should be vigilant in order to minimize the threat caused by wild elephants during the present dry weather conditions. Director General of Wildlife H.D. Ratnayake stated that wild elephants tend to wander into villages as a result of the scarcity of food and water. He further stated that residents should avoid wandering about into forests during evening hours as wild elephants tend to hunt for food at these times. The Minister of Cooperatives and Internal Trade stated that 2,800 metric tons of paddy will be purchased in the Yala season. Secretary to the Ministry of Cooperatives and Internal Trade, Sunil Sirisena, stated that paddy will be brought from Ampara, Hambantota, Munragala and Polonnaruwa. He further added that a kilogram of samba will be purchased at the rate of 30 rupees, while a kilogram of nadu will be purchased at the rate of 28 rupees. Sunil Sirisena further stated that a sum of 55 million rupees has been allocated for this purpose from the Treasury. He added that in addition to this allocated money, another 1.5 billion rupees has been handed over to the district secretariats for this purpose. An agreement for the supply and installation of a signalling and telecommunication system for the railway network in the northern province was signed at the Transport Ministry today. Those present included the Minister of Transport Kumar Velgama, Indian High Commissioner for Sri Lanka Ashok K. Kant, Railways General Manager A.P. Araratna and Managing Director of the Indian Aerocon Company. The installation work on the signalling system, which is estimated to cost $86.5 million, will be completed in 3 years. In sports news this afternoon, we start off with some cricket news. Well, former Sri Lankan batsman Roy Dias has confirmed that he will take over as the coach of the Oman national cricket team.
Roy Dias, who played 20 tests and 58 ODIs in the 80s, has plenty of experience supervising upcoming nations, having spent the past decade in charge of the Nepal team. Oman won the ACC 2020 Cup in 2007 and progressed enough to make it to the qualifying tournament for the 2011 World Cup. However, they fared poorly in that event, finishing 11th to be relegated to the third division of the ICC's World Cricket League. 58-year-old Dias said he was familiar with Oman cricket since he had watched the team in various competitions during his time as Nepal coach. Oman cricket is expected to formally announce Dias' appointment next